on uh, attention is everything. Thank you.
Good morning, namaste. Here we go again. I will torture you again. Very nice. So let's start with the Shanti Mantra Sahana Bhavatu, known to all of you. Let's do it together. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karvavahai. तेजस्विनावधीतम् अस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् Om, may the all-pervading spirit protect us. May the all-pervading spirit nourish us. May we work together with great enthusiasm. May our learning be fruitful. May love and harmony dwell among us. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. Thank you, Prasun, for such a great introduction. Only thing I would like to add to what he has said, now I am taking more interest in negative psychology. It's a newest branch of psychology, by the way. If you are interested, you can Google it up. The idea is we think our negative emotions something to shun off. They have no role in our life. But a group of psychologists are trying to show us that so-called negative emotions also have positive values. So how can we change our relationship with so-called negative emotions? In fact, a book came out last week called Hard Feelings by Daniel Smith. Hard feelings such as envy, jealousy, anger, boredom. And I got the book. I thought in this trip I will read the book. Anyway, so today's topic is attention is everything. I will start with a story. Let's go back more than 2,000 years ago in a place called Corinth in Greece. There was an eccentric person named Diogenes. You might have heard about it. Eccentric person. So he used to live outside. He had no house. He used to live in a ceramic barrel. He would heckle people. He would, when Plato will give his discourses, Diogenes would go and munch food to irritate Plato. In broad daylight, he would walk with a lit lantern. So if somebody asked him that in broad daylight, why are you walking with a lit lantern? Diogenes would say, I am looking for an honest person. He would give discourses to stray dogs. He will gather a few stray dogs around him in town square and will give talks to them. Whose notifications going on? Today's talk will be all about it. So anyway, so he was an eccentric person, but he was wise in his own way. Alexander the Great came to know about him, Diogenes. So he wanted to meet Diogenes. He called for Diogenes. Diogenes said, if he wants to meet, let him come to him. I want to go to Alexander. So Alexander came with his all retinues, with envoy. He came to that small city of Corinth to meet Diogenes. It was a spring day like this. Only difference was it was bright. The sun was up, and Diogenes, in a gymnasium, he was lying down and basking in the morning sunlight. So he was enjoying the sunlight. Alexander came up to him along with all his people, and the people of the city of Corinth also gathered. Alexander has come to talk to Diogenes. What's the matter? So all were there with pin drop silence. Alexander asked Diogenes, I have heard a lot about you. I have come to you to know what can I do for you. Ask anything. I will try to fulfill your wish. Diogenes said, stand out of my light. Alexander was blocking the sunlight. This is the only thing I need. Stand out of my light. That's it. We'll come back to this story later on. Remember this story. One of the most important things we have is our attention. But we take it for granted. We think we have unlimited supply of attention and it is free of supply. And so we don't pay any value to our attention. People who understand the value of attention are actually trillionaires of Silicon Valley. As you know, the dominant economy right now is the attention economy. How to hold our attention to the platforms by any means, engagement, attention. And we don't think even that attention is valuable, but it is the most powerful thing that human beings can have. To know anything important, to do anything worthwhile, we need to pay attention. In fact, we use the word pay attention. That is the currency. Attention is the currency. That's why we have to pay attention. If you look at the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, even other discourses, before giving a valuable lesson, Sri Krishna often, or the sages of the Upanishad, always say, now I am going to tell you something which is very important. Why? Why do they say so? Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. So, nothing in this world comes free. Nothing in this world comes free. So, to really know something, to really do something important, worthwhile, the currency that we have to pay is the attention. And our attention is being stolen every day in front of our eyes without our permission. And we are oblivious about it. Oblivious about it. So, in today's talk, I would like to share with you that how our attention is being stolen and the consequences, the deeper consequences of losing our attention. And finally, what is the way out? Very simple premise. The idea is to how can we reclaim our attention? Our attention can be compared with light. And students of Vedanta know it, right? Upanishads speak about when the sun is not there, which light guides us? Moon. When even moon is not there, who guides us? The stars. When the stars are absent, moon is absent on a dark night, which light guides us? Our attention. So our attention can be compared with a light. And this light functions at three levels. Three levels. One level we know, two other levels we don't really appreciate. So first is our attention can be compared with spotlight. A spotlight. Spotlight of attention refers to our immediate capacity to focus on things we want to do or focus on things we want to know, right? Right now, if you really want to get what I am telling you, you have to focus your attention on what I am talking to, right? Or me, as a work, what I am doing now, I have to pay attention to, right? This is called the spotlight function of attention. Spotlight. Imagine in a dark room, you are trying to build a Lego tower. So what you will do, you have a flashlight, it's a dark room, you have to focus the flashlight to the Lego tower you are building. Otherwise, there's no light, how can you build? So spotlight of attention is which allows us to do what we want to do. Spotlight of attention allows us to do what we want to do, right? This is being stolen. How? We know. We go to computer to do some work. After 40 minutes, we realize we have seen numerous cat videos, cooking ideas, global meltdown, and we forgot, why did I come to computer, right? Or we wanted to do some deep work, but some notifications came, some message came, and our attention was distracted. This is called functional distraction. Functional distraction, that is distraction that does not allow us to do what we want to do. Bob Dylan had a song, "A man is a success if he wakes up and gets to do what he wants to do." Technology sometimes help us to do what we want to do, but many a times it does not allow us to do what we want to do. It is common experience now, right? We want to do something, we want to read something, but these notifications, these messages, these pop-ups distract us. It is by design of these platforms. They want to distract us. Android, on an average, sends every day 11 billion notifications to its users. 11 billion. Each notification is a microsecond thing, a ping, but it has distracted me. If you have tried to do some serious work, but a notification has come, they have found in labs that it takes on an average 23 minutes to come back to that level of attention again. 23 minutes. Not only it is about our focus with other things, but these notifications also compete with our inner world. You were thinking something deeply, creatively, and this notification will actually disrupt the whole process. You totally may be lost where I was in the process. So these notifications are not only competing with each other, but competing with our inner environment. It is by design. For example, after a lot of studies, they found out the Gmail, red. Gmail, that logo, red, because that is most attention grabbing. Then unread mail. Whenever we see there is 3 unread messages, unread emails, we pay attention to that. Why? Because human beings have the tendency of grooming, cleaning. And the behavioral scientists, they found out that if we can show people how much grooming work yet to be done, they will be immediately attracted to it. You won't believe that best of the behavioral scientists are now working in the Silicon Valley, not for the universities. So they know the tricks, know our vulnerabilities, and they exploit on us. By design, by design. One notification and we are distracted. And not only that, you have all faced this. It has become our habit. If there is no notification, we feel uneasy. Is not it? If there is no notification, we reach out for the phone and see is there a notification. That means our habit has changed. We like to be distracted. We love to be distracted. You may say, what is the big deal about it? One moment and 2 moments of distraction, what does it matter? It may be compared to obesity. You may, in the same way that one potato chips, if taken whole day, chunk of potato chips I am taking whole day will make me obese. Similarly, these bits and pieces of distractions make us habitually distracted. Habitually distracted. So they don't allow us to do what we want to do by design itself. By design itself. So Jonathan Haidt again wrote a book, The Anxious Generation. Anxious Generation. That because of from the rise of the smartphones, we have become anxious, more anxious. Why? Is there a notification? Yes, there is. There is a dirty. Whose phone it is? Take a moment to silent. Look how it distracts us. Yeah, it is an unavoidable part of our life now. Where I was. Well, this is the thing that this is functional distraction. So the spotlight, that is, it is almost like I wanted to build the Lego tower and wanted to focus here, and someone forcefully taking my hands away and putting the focus somewhere. Again, when I come to realize I have to build the Lego tower, and again I bring my spotlight, without my knowledge, there is again ping, and the spotlight has shifted. Spotlight. I was reading yesterday that from 2004 to 2026, our attention span, average attention span, has gone down two-thirds by two-thirds. Two-thirds we have lost. Average attention span. And it takes about 23 minutes to come back, to gain back our attention level. So nobody is immune from it. Nobody. We think younger generation are only that. No. Even older generations feel uncomfortable if a smartphone is around us. Just if the smartphone is nearby, we feel distracted about it. Distracted about it. So this is stealing of our spotlight. Stealing of our spotlight. Just like Diogenes, we have to stand up and say, don't block ours. Don't block our spotlight. Stand out of our light. This is what everybody know. It is almost like a joke, I would say, that imagine Arjuna, such a great archer who had such a powerful concentration of mind, who could hit the eye of a flying bird by seeing the reflection on the water. Imagine such Arjuna going to shoot a flying bird, and suddenly he gets an WhatsApp notification. Our condition is like that. Our condition is like that. We would laugh. It is hilarious or ridiculous to think about Arjuna forgetting to hit the flying bird by WhatsApp notification, but our condition is like that. Our condition is like that. So this is what I have almost known to all of us, that these notifications, this digital economy distracts us from doing or knowing what we want to do. But it goes deeper. Actually, the talk starts now. Was a prelude. Our attention can be also compared with starlight. In olden days, when there was no GPS, the stars and ships and the vessels, how did they used to navigate? Through starlight. So attention also has a function that enables us to navigate our life through our starlight of values, our aspirations, our higher goals. But all of these are being lost because of this attention economy. Attention economy. For example, if I ask you, would you like to live a life of jealousy, envy, outrage? Or would you like to live a life of harmony, peace, joy, listening to each other? Everyone would say, I would like the second life, a life of peace, a life of joy, a life of harmony, right? But imagine what attention economy has done to us. We are constantly engaging in petty acts. We join social networks with the high goal, aspirational goal of connecting. But very soon it comes down to likes. How many likes my post got? How many views my post got? And even when I have posted something very nice posting, it could not garner as much post. Whereas my friend who posted seemingly normal posting but could generate so many views and likes, I feel envious about my friend. Envious about my friend. So, and that becomes our motive. Unconsciously, then we chase views. So the thing, what is happening, we went to all these sites for a higher value of connecting with people, finding friends. But we settle for petty values, envy. We go to the internet to get informed about things of the world. But very soon we find ourselves enmeshed in outrageous content, which are designed to create rage within us. Why? Because more outrageous a content is, more engagement. That's they have found out. They found out the more a post is can bring envy, jealousy, fear in us, the more viral it will get. So it is their profit to keep us engaged at the cost of our mental health. Our mental health. In larger scale, democracy is eroding because democracy entails we listen to each other in a civic way. But if you go to now internet, social media, and channels, news channels, we are not listening to each other. We are shouting at each other. Shouting at each other. So nobody is listening to anybody. So there is no conversation. And as a result, you know what? Number of people who think democracy is no more needed is increasing. Even in advanced countries, most of the people wanted democratic values, democratic engagement, conversation about different ideas. Those number of people are on the decline. People don't think now we have to listen to each other. All due to engagement. The more we remain engaged, more outraged, more afraid, better it is for the Silicon Valley and those companies, corporations, right? So it is being eroded. And we may think that, okay, those are things are happening online, but in offline I am fine. No, offline outrage, online outrage, online envy, online fear percolates into our offline activities. Offline activities. For that's why we are now, cannot tolerate our neighbors if they have opposite kind of view. Many people, even in families, there is now breaking down because of ideologies. It was always there. In one family, they used to have different type of political views, but because of these attention economy, this online engagement about outrage and fear, now brothers are breaking up. Children cannot tolerate their parents for holding other views. So online, it was online discussion, but it has percolated into our offline. So it is called existential distraction. Existential distractions. So the idea is, when these technologies distract us from what we want to be. In other words, the starlight of attention helps us to choose what we want to be, what we would like to be, what we aspire to be. And that is being blocked by these digital economies. Moreover, like uh, complex pleasure of reading a book, engaging with a difficult book, a difficult paragraph. This brings complex pleasure. These have been replaced by instant pleasure, short videos. So the result is, you may know, 2 years ago, it is 2024, the Oxford word of the year was brain rot. Brain rot. It is a fact. When we engage constantly with short form content, short form videos, TikTok and Reels, our capacity to engage with longer form videos which have nuances, complexity, that gets eroded. We really brain rot. Not only that, our IQ level really goes down. Moreover, if you ask most of the teenagers now, what do you want to be in your life? Many of them will say, I want to be an influencer, content creator. Imagine, in our generation, if we were asked what you want to be, the aspiration was higher, serving some purpose. We may or may not reach the goal. But if you break it down, what does influencing mean? Getting views at any cost. Any cost. It is serving no higher purpose. I will just keep on unboxing packets and get views. And the influencers have most terrible life. They are constantly under stress, the fear of losing their viewers. So they are under stress. They no longer can create content they want to create. They have to think, what kind of content will keep my viewers engaged? So, this is an erosion of starlight, higher values, what we want it to be, a career that will be in line with my values, in line with my aspirations. It has been replaced by number of views. So a higher value has been, without our knowledge, replaced by a lower order values, petty value. This is blocking of our starlight. And this distraction is called existential distraction. We don't know what we want to be, or we want to be something, but we are living settling for something much prettier. And the result is a fragmented self. Our life is very fragmented. In psychology, they say that human beings have two types of selves. Not I am talking about Atma. It is one is diachronic self and synchronic self. Human beings love to see their life in a form of story, a narrative. Who I was, where I am now, where I want to go. If someone asks me, tell me about yourself, should I tell all the details in my life? But I would like to tell my story as a narrative. What I was, where I am now, where I want to go. This depends upon these two selves. Diachronic self is our aspirational self, a long time view of what I am. And synchronic self is what I am doing right now. So human beings always have this conflict. They wanted something higher, but could not reach to up to that level, could not live up to that level. But now it is much more fragmented, much more fragmented. We know we want higher things in life, we have higher goals in life, but these social media, these digital platforms are making us live a life which is very petty life. The result is fragmented self. Most of our life is now fragmented, and it's an existential crisis. No amount of anything can help it. That's why people cannot pinpoint now what the problem is. Everything is going fine, but they feel like there is no meaning in life. It's kind of fragmentation. This is bound to happen, because the goal is high, but moment to moment we are living a much lower life. We are even forgetting the starlight. It is almost like I started going to Austin and I put my GPS Austin. Someone is constantly changing the destination as something else without my knowledge. So I am driving, but I know where I wanted to go. Austin. Again, I have to type Austin, but someone without my knowledge is taking me somewhere else. This is blocking of our starlight. And the distraction is existential distraction. It goes much deeper. So we have seen two types of lights, right? Spotlight and starlight. There's more important light, daylight. Daylight is our capacity to even know or even decide where we want to go. With the help of our intellect, our reasoning, our metacognition, our discernment, all of them are under attack now. This distraction is called epistemic distraction. Epistemic. Why? Because knowledge itself is under threat now in different ways. For the first time in human life, we have so much of information now, but we cannot decide, is it a fake or true? So we are bombarded with knowledge, information in such a way that, first of all, they are coming at such a high velocity, we cannot process. Secondly, we are not sure of the quality of the information. Propaganda, fake news are clouding our capacity to even know what is true. You have played the game of Tetris in computer. Towards the end, what happens? The bricks come so fast, not only in numbers, but faster, we cannot even judge what to do. Exactly this is happening. So much of information, and mostly these are outrageous information, as coming to us through WhatsApp, Snapchat, Facebook, Gmail, personal message, that our system, our nervous system is not designed to process so much of information. We are not designed. We cannot process the information. If we keep on eating all day, when should we digest? Is not it? Similarly, information is also a food for our mind. We have to take time to digest. If we keep on consuming information, then where is the time to digest? That's why people are confused so much, so much. And this is also true for spiritual seekers. So much of videos are available now. In the YouTube, I see people who watch a lot of YouTube lectures on Upanishads or whatever, very much confused. Why? Why? Imagine Swami Turyananda ji, Swamis used to go to Swami Turyananda to read Bhagavad Gita. He would teach one Gita slok and say, "Come to me when you have realized the mantra." Imagine it. A mantra is not just an information. I need engagement with the mantra to really understand its implication for my life, what it is, the context of it. And now, in 1 hour, we may getting 20 Bhagavad Gita slokas made simple for us. The result is confusion because we are losing the nuances. We are losing the nuances, we are losing the context, we are losing the competing commentaries, how to reconcile all the commentaries. So I have seen a lot of confusion is happening because of overconsumption. One of the greatest thinkers of our time is Yuval Noah Harari. You might have heard about him. His books are phenomenal book, original thinking. Original thinking. He comes with such clear understanding, clear insights. The secret, he does not have a smartphone. He does not go to internet at all. There's just a few weeks ago, he was interviewed by 2 Buddhist monks from Seattle, and they asked the secret of his insight, secret of his clear understanding. He said, I don't have access to internet. I don't go to internet at all because I know if there is anything important to know, it will anyway come to me. Anyway come to me. As I told yesterday, we have now access to all the information, all the outrage, all the problems of the world 24/7. Everything, everywhere, all at once. The result is such a confusion. We cannot decide. We cannot decide, we cannot digest what is happening to us. A day before yesterday, there was a wonderful article in New York Times. And the headline was, "There is a reason why you cannot concentrate." And the writer is Cal Newport, Professor Cal Newport of Georgetown University, a computer scientist. In 2016, he wrote a book called Deep Work. Deep Work, which has become very popular in the corporate culture, deep work. In that book, he argued that these emails, instant messaging is degrading our ability to do deep work or concentrate or engage. He says, after 10 years, now I am saying we have lost the ability to do deep work. Lost, not only degrading. Even if time is available now, we have lost the capacity to think deeply, to engage with the things deeply. Because these things are like muscles. Capacity to engage with a thing in a deeper level, understanding the nuances, understanding the opposite point of view, it takes time and engagement like a muscle. It needs to be challenged, and it is not an entertainment. It is not entertainment. It is a really challenge to us. And how we grow muscles? By challenging the muscles. Similarly, the capacity to know, really know, capacity to go deeper into something means we need to challenge ourselves. One doctor told me a few weeks ago, Swami, you know what our condition is now? What? We earlier used to walk or cycle to our places, and we invented car so that time can be saved. We had to carry things, lift weights, but to give ourselves relax, comfort, we engaged other things for doing that. As a result, now we are going to gym and paying to do the cycling, paying to lift the weights. Similarly, it is happening with us that we are losing the capacity to engage with something meaningful. And Professor New, please go through the article. You know, it's a long article. If you want, I have, I read it yesterday in my flight. I kept it reserved for the flight. It's a long article. I would read my flight. He says more danger is coming because of AI. The capacity to think, the capacity to take the most important capacity human beings have to think, to engage with something, with our inner world, that we are now, what do you call it, outsourcing it to AI, so the muscle is being lost. Wonderful thing. You may be thinking, some of you, none of these problems pertain to me. In that case, congratulations. But one thing, no one is immune from this. I have seen 90-year-old reaching out for smartphone every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because the habit has grown. Love to be distracted. So in short, it is, we are losing our most valuable currency that human beings have, called attention. Attention serves as 3 types of light. Spotlight, which allows us to do what we want to do. But these technologies are creating functional distractions, not allowing us to do what we want to do. Attention also serves as starlight, that is, our capacity to navigate our life through higher values and goals of light. But these are being replaced by short-term videos, instant entertainment. So we are forgetting where we even want to go. It is called existential distraction. Attention also serves the light as a daylight. That is, our capacity to know what we want to know, capacity to know what we should do, the most fundamental capacity, our cognitive ability. And that is being blocked, which is called epistemic distraction. Epistemics, that is, we even losing the capacity to even think, capacity to judge, capacity to use our metacognition, that where my mind is going, how I am thinking, is there a flaw in my thinking pattern? These are being taken away. That is, they are not allowing us to even think. So it is causing problem in all the 3 levels, and we are also happily letting our most important currency being stolen. It is as good as going to a busy place, losing your wallet once, going to the same places every day and losing our wallet. We go to a busy place, lose our wallet, and second day also we go without being aware and letting our wallet be stolen from us. So our most fundamental capacity, not only for spiritual life, but to live a healthy life, a meaningful life, the most important thing is attention. And it is time to reclaim our attention. How can we do that? How can we do that? First of all, we cannot be passive about it. These technology companies will not change their policies because bottom line matters to them. They know what they are inventing are harmful for us, but bottom line matters. The scientist who invented infinite scroll, he said he left Silicon Valley. Why? He said, I know the secret of infinite scroll, but I could not go beyond it. I got addicted to infinite scroll. So knowledge would not help us. Knowledge alone won't help us. Even the creator of infinite scroll become entrapped of the maya of infinite scroll. So these companies won't change their policy. Government won't, because these companies are changing so fast, government cannot come up with regulations enough. Moreover, the most powerful lobby in US now is the technology lobby, tech lobby. They won't allow us to do it. So we cannot be passive about it. We have to take charge of our life if we want to live a sane life. So what can we do about it? I would say restrict usage. We cannot live without it, restrict. Professor Cal Newport says that he says, do one simple thing. Keep your smartphone only in kitchen, at one spot. Notification comes, whatever comes, go, check and come back. Don't keep the smartphone near you. A very simple solution. We don't carry all our gadgets all the time, do we? Do we? Don't. We don't. Do we carry our refrigerator with us? We don't. We don't. So treat smartphone as a gadget and keep it at a particular place when you are in home. So try to be away from it as long as possible. Keep it the ringer on. If somebody calls, I will go take the call and come back. Okay. It is painful for the first few days. You will feel like going, but it is a very, very necessary step if we want to live sane. If you look at spiritual life, what spiritual life in essence? All the yogas, if you think, it is nothing but attention. Where I am putting my attention to is not it. If I put my attention on the divine, it becomes bhakti yoga. If I put my attention to my higher soul, it becomes jnana yoga. If I put attention to the work I am doing, karma yoga. If I put attention on my mind itself, raja yoga. So to do any progress even in spiritual life, first thing will be needed. Do you have the currency? And what is the currency of spiritual life? Attention. So we have to reclaim our attention. So keep it away from it. Secondly, engage in long form of education, like books, podcast. Sure, long podcast. The thing is, nothing can replace books. They have found out, because book is a three-dimensional thing, and our memory works well with book. Right? If we have read a book, then we know it was there, probably in the beginning of the book, towards the end of the page. If you read the same thing on screen, everything is flat. You won't recall where it was. So memory, we cannot remember. So nothing like book. Read books or long essays. What has helped me, I can share with you. I read only 3-4 things. I read New York Times, I read Atlantic, I read Scientific American. That's it. It served my purpose. So choose your things carefully. And I would say the criteria of choosing is, it should be boring. News should be boring. News are meant to be boring. If it is entertainment, it is not news, it is drama. So any news channel that shows entertainment, any YouTube videos Any reel that grabs your attention means I should not go into it. Anything that is trying to grab my attention, we should know it was not created in my favor. Again, to repeat the story, yesterday's story, the content creator created it because they need to survive. Facebook would show us because Facebook has to earn revenue, and we don't have to watch it because we need to survive. We need to survive. So choose boring contents. News channel should be boring, newspaper should be boring, and books should not be entertaining. You'll be surprised. Last year they surveyed Ivy League students, the freshmen. None of them read any book full, cover to cover. All they read extracts, summaries. And the result is very shallow knowledge. Very shallow knowledge. So engage in longer form of articles. And finally, get the habit of meditation daily. At least for some time, try to you don't have to do anything. Just stay with your attention and see where it goes. Just stay with that. That is the like HIIT, high intensity interval training for our body. Meditation, daily meditation. So these three things we have to know, that we don't have to be passive about, we have to take active step about it. Anything that is entertaining, attention grabbing, we should be very leery about it. Anything that is trying to grab our attention on the internet, we should think, is it in my favor or someone else's favor? The problem is, yesterday I mentioned a term, frenemy. You know your friend, you know your enemy. But when enemy looks like friend, that is the biggest thing. So these seemingly innocent videos, entertaining videos appear like friend, but they are our enemies. They are stealing our attention, the most important thing. And the bottom line is the content creators' profit, views, money, the platform's money, views, they are not on our side. They are not on our side. So we have to be cautious about it and engage in longer form of reading, long essays, and of course, there are many podcasts, long podcasts that discusses nuances, views, counter views, and how to reconcile. And then we can reclaim our attention and really live a life as human beings should live. And you will be encouraging things are happening, like a group has started, radical attention, and they are paying their $5,000 a week for a 1 week smartphone free engagement. Just like that, we stop cycling, stop lifting weight, then go to gym and pay for the same things. We don't have to go to such retreats, $5,000 retreat, to reclaim our attention. But if we just remember all these things, we'll be living a much more meaningful life, which is extremely essential for anything. Spiritual life, a meaningful life, a good work life, family life, everything is dependent on our attention. So thank you for paying attention to my the topic of attention. I wanted to bring your attention to this important currency that is being stolen, being hacked from us. Okay, feel free to ask questions, or if you want to add anything, yeah, please feel free. I know it is not a spiritual talk, but I think it is important, so I wanted to share with you. Yeah.
Hi, I had a question. So you said that you should read books that are not entertaining, but why would you not want to engage in something that might push you to be more creative and push you to be more wide viewed in other parts of your life?
Yeah, I did not actually meant that books should not be entertaining. Sure, why not? Books should be entertaining. What I said is just because something entertaining, that I only should seek entertainment. If a news I have to hear only because it is entertaining, then there is a problem. Only entertainment cannot be the measure of the value of the information. Yeah, this is what I meant.
Next question. Yes.
Maharaj, thank you for a really profound talk. Um, my question is actually quite basic. So whenever I'm doing something that I need to pay attention to, I find that I pay more attention if there is some soft classical music or something like that going on.
Yes.
It so is that a distraction?
No,
or
not at all. That's not that is not competing for your attention. Anything that is competing for your attention becomes a problem. Yeah, because that remains in our background, in a background score. But suppose you are trying to do something, and at the same time you have the TV going on and a news channel is on. So you have your attention is shifting between what happened in Iran and what I am doing now. So back and forth, that is not good for attention. Okay. Yeah. Soothing background music, chanting, if this is going on, which does not require my attention, which does not grab my attention, is not a problem at all. Yes, please.
Next question.
There she is, yeah.
Namaste, Maharaj. So we will be doing multitasking many times, being a householder. So when I'm doing one thing, I have to focus on so many things. So is it good or bad? How do I know that I'm doing 100% on each one of them? Sometimes I fail, sometimes it's fine.
Yes. The first thing is in psychology or in the neurology, they say there is no such thing called multitasking. We cannot. It's a oxymoron. We cannot do multitasking. What you meant to do is that probably you put something on the stove, let it go on, and during that time, let me do something else. That is not multitasking. Multitasking is when you are constantly switching your attention from one thing to another. So that does not help, because we cannot do that. Human beings don't have the capacity to put attention, meaningful attention to more than one thing at a time. Yeah. So you have to think that way. Of course, you can. What I do when I cook, I simultaneously cook two things. Because none of them are competing for my attention. One thing is going on, then I am focusing on something. That is not a problem for me. But I am reading and also cooking and also trying to listen to a talk. Actually, I am not doing anything. None of them will become fruitful. So you have to think that what you mean by multitasking. Multitasking does not help. They have found out it does not. Actually, if we do one thing, then we finish and go to another, the work is better and we also enjoy. Not only that, they have found that many more things can get done when we do one by another, one after another. We create an illusion that let me get most of my time, let me do many things at a time. And it is an illusion I am creating. Probably I am being productive, but actually not. Most of the productive work happens when we focus for some time on it. Yeah. At the same time, we have in the fantasy that 3 hours I will focus. We can't. We don't have that capacity. We cannot keep on uh, keep on you know doing our barbell dumbbell for 30 minutes. So we have a capacity. It has been found that human beings can have prolonged attention for about 20 or 25 minutes. Then you should relax, should give it some not that high attention job, then again bring after some time your focus to something. Yeah.
I have a question, Swamiji. S- so, how do you handle the normalization of attention deficit? For example, say you are five, six people together. Nowadays, you observe nobody is sticking to a topic. They're all over the place because everybody has their attention span shortened. But if you are a person who does understand the value of deep thinking and deep discussions, you are left out of it because nobody's want to stick to that topic, for example.
Yeah.
How do you address these kind of challenges?
Try to become a witness. Try to see how the things are going on. You don't have to engage in every discussion. Wait for the turn when it comes to you. Then you take time to explain your things. Yeah. You cannot expect all will follow the same thing. Yeah. It is ultimately our own own life or our own sanity that we should take care of our attention. But what others are doing, what can I do about it? I also face the same problem. Those times I try to even just be an observer, a listener. Can I listen without judging? Can I listen without the urge to speak? That is also training of attention. That's a training of attention. Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Another profound lecture. So this is, I'm not sure if it's a question, it's more of a reflection, and I would like you to, just comment on it or, say more things about it. So you mentioned AI, and objectively there are papers that have objectively measured and found out that the attention span and the capability that you're talking about of comprehending complex ideas have gone down. But at the same time, AI is all pervading now.
Everywhere.
In every area, especially in software industry or even the lawyers,
Right.
everybody. And in fact, you cannot stay away from it.
Yes.
Unlike a phone, you have to embrace it, and you have to use it. So I think just like in spirituality, even out here, we have to use the viveka, the discrimination of how we use the tool and not allow the tool to use us. So you mentioned that word which I really liked, frenemy. When somebody else who is actually an enemy poses as a friend and takes control over you, maybe we should be able to take the enemy and make it a friend and make any free.
Yeah. Daniel Smith answered this, in this long article. What we should do about AI? He says one simple thing: do anything with AI, but remember one thing: your writing should be your writing. Follow this rule. Wherever you are submitting something, your writing, your thoughts, it should be your. Full stop, he says. Full stop. You don't have to be perfect. Let it be imperfect. Your writing should be your writing, full stop. This is the simple rule he suggests. He also tackles the problem that everybody is using. So am I left behind? He tackles this question also in this long article. I will share with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, Jia has a question.
My question was, I understand the solution is very simple, like don't consume like entertaining media and things like that. And before, like outside, you were talking about you can't sustain something and do it for a very long period of time unless you like to do it. And for example, like listening to this talk, I'll probably go home and be like, okay, while I'm doing my homework, I'll just keep my phone in the other room and not text it. Maybe I'll continue that for a week. But like I really don't want to. So how would you suggest that we have that like interest and the longing to continue to do this?
Right, absolutely. So what you can do is, you can make a rule. I will keep my phone at the kitchen and check it every 1 hour. I'll go check 1 hour, 2 minutes I will spend and come back. You'll see how much you gain from it. The constant urge to be near the phone and check your phone will go away, because you are training your mind to form this habit that it is not an inseparable thing from me. Every 1 hour I will go and check. After some time you will find that you don't need to go 1 hour, but every 2 hours also it is fine with you. Okay, so this is the habit we have to develop.